from the heart of Delta State. You are tuned in to SRTV Asaba.
You see what these young people are doing? Anytime I come here and they take me to Asaba, they know I'm in London. They want to deport me to Asaba. Anyway, my name is Daddy Chris, and this is State of the Nation. This is not money news. This is State of the Nation. And the old man name here is Daddy. I shout, I scream, I talk loud. And we're going to talk loud today because there's something loud to talk about. Now, are you not impressed? You know, there's something that is going on in the country, and I'm quite impressed. Oh, I didn't even fish my shirt well. Let me just try and fish it so that people will not say, this man is so disorganized. Just ignore what you see. Well, it's a beautiful day, and a day to be here with you and share some beautiful things. Today's topic is a heaty one. Very, very tough and very, very timely. And perhaps we're going to ask ourselves sincere questions. As I sit before you, fella say, I say, fella, you don't come again. Fella say, I never come again. No. I sit there far away. Make you wait till I reach where they go. Where you they go, I hear. So we are going to discuss something I titled the goody ideology. You see, I wanted Joy to join me because she understood what is goody. Hopefully, anytime they join me today, I'll be asking them questions on all these very difficult things. My question is, what is goody? Today, we're going to talk about goody ideology. And you should be worried. Goody. You know what is goody? No, I have a flyer, something I designed, and I'll use it. Let me first put it on the plain side. Let's take a look at this image. When you look at this image, let me make this image full. When you look at this image, there are two parts of it. There is the sugar, and there is the bitter leaf. Sugar and bitter leaf. See that soup. See that sugary food. Oh boy, which of them do you want? That's what we're going to talk about today. If somebody come and give you bitter leaf soup and they give you sugar, which one is more sweet? Which one is good for your health? That's the question of today. And that's why it is titled goody ideology. See, Nigerians, the truth is we can't stand bitter leaf ideology. We prefer the goody ones. And I want to use it. So I presented the image of two Nigeria today. A very disturbing one. You see, now we have to make a choice. The one that is with bitter leaf might turn out to be the Nigeria we are looking for. But the one that carries sugar, look at how it looks like. This is my portrait. Anyway, don't mind me. This is how I present it to you. So that at least, you know, I'm somebody who is trying to sell a message. So I will always do everything in my power to do so. Now, have you ever seen somebody when in the UK we call it lollipop? I don't know in Nigeria, because in our time we have the goody, and many people might know what is toffee, but I'm sure you have some sweet in Nigeria. Your children will still be taking sweet anywhere in the world, like in the UK currently. When I wanted to talk to my kids, I tell them, I'm going to get you lollipop. And they are jumping because it's sweet. They love it. Children can eat sugar. And they love sugar. So that is the thing we are facing when it comes to politics. And I'm going to trace this to a very, very important movement the government has just made. And this is really important, my people. This is very, very important. When you see a leader or a politician come to you, they come to you with two things normally. And you cannot blame them always, because, how will I say it? My ex carried a heavy stick, and he said to me, she was asking me if I had an affair with somebody. And she was carrying this heavy stick, and I said to her, if I say I didn't, you will not believe me. And if I say I do, I probably won't be alive. And she was laughing. That's exactly what I. So the politician is between the devil and the deep blue sea. If he tells you the truth, the man is dead. He's not going to be voted in. And if he tells you the lie, you're going to call him a liar tomorrow. But he's going to be in the office. What do you think he's going to do? So that brings the question is, are you ready to deal with the truth? Are you? And if you are not, then please leave our politicians alone. If you are not ready to deal with the truth, please leave our politicians alone. Even in the UK at the moment, we have a new prime minister. And he's just making some toffee ideology to say, hey, we just come, let the people feel good. Now he's going to throw something at some sugar at us. So that we say the Andy guy is a great guy. But deep down is the question you must ask yourself, is it sustainable? Kai, that's the big question. The thing they are saying now, can they sustain it? If they cannot, then it's not good for you, my brother. It's not good for you, my sister. And today is the day to look at that together. And I want us to look at it with open mind. Now, the good thing is the Nigerian government, and this is one big thing I want us to look at. I will try not to go too far so that I can stick to this very big topic. This goody ideology is so deep. You understand? It's so deep that we need to be brave to be able to talk about it. And I think we should be able to do this if we are sincere with one another. And I'm sure we will be sincere with one another today if we are going to have a country tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to look at your face. Instead, I'm going to deal with the pains. Even when I know you will hate me. You know some of the things I do here. I know it's not popular. I know you will hate me. But I do it anyway. Because you know why? Because I know the difference between goody ideology and the bitter leaf ideology. Now, let's put this in some context. I've been dancing around this thing. We're going to base this discussion today on the NYSC, the Nigerian NYSC. If you understand, the federal government of Nigeria has did a wonderful reform when it comes to our NYSC. Let me just share some of the new images with you. So this is about what they are saying now. The NYSC should be branded, we should use the Nigerian Akara, which is something I like. That makes it more of our own. We're not khaki boys. And it's about serving the nation. So, and I can look at beautiful Nigerian women and men. I like this. Now, you can understand the problem. Let me explain this to you in detail. Do you know, just in case of you, when you see a youth copper, young people, I'm talking to you guys today, they said the federal government allocates approximately between 430 to 540 billion annually for NYSC. I heard people crying, they allocated some money to the king, to the church. But this is the money that goes to young people. And the question I ask you is, of what use it is? Let me give you a brief history of the NYSC. The NYSC was the idea of Gowon, when he said we should go on with one Nigeria. After the Civil War, there was need for us to come together and be one again. You understand? So the best thing is for each other to share that brotherliness. If you graduate from the north, go and serve in the south. If you graduate from the south, go and serve in the east, so that we can live and share a harmony, a life together. And I think in terms of integration or in terms of unity, I think the NYSC has done that, because I know many young people who have served in different parts of the world, and they got some beautiful experience, and they actually end up staying there. Some of them even get married there. To some extent, NYSC has done its own. Now, it comes to a point, I want you to respect Tinubu here. It comes to a point where the amount that is going in, look at the figure. If you are any government, you'll be asking, of what use is this? Can't we use the money for something else? Tinubu said, instead of scrapping it all together, let us reform it. And I want you to listen carefully. You know why this is? It's like everything they are doing is coming to what I wrote in my book. Tinubu is saying, oh no, now this education, if you're going to do youth service, some of these people are graduating from a system that is not even good fit for purpose. And I ask, why don't reform that? We'll come to that in discussion. Why are we not reforming the system that is bringing them unprepared? Because you are not trying to treat a wound. I always say to people, if you have gonorrhea and you are trying to apply Vaseline, it may not be cured though, because Vaseline doesn't cure. You need antibiotics. So we have a problem. So the president said, no, don't scrap NYC. NYC should sue, but use the opportunity to give our young people skills. Give them the normal training, a training that will make them useful to themselves and to society by the time they finish the 1 year. Is that not good news? I quite like that. I'm impressed with that. I like that. But people like us will be asking questions. Okay. You see, because that the Chris will ask questions. Why are they not graduating with the right degree? Why are we waiting for them to get to the NYC camp before giving them this training? That's one thing you ask yourself. I cannot ask the government that one. They know where to answer that question. And the answer is in my book. But the thing that really struck me, which is in the second book I wrote, and that's what brought me to the NYC as I was researching, and I found out some of the places where government spend money and get nothing back, and NYC pop up. And that's why I found out that we spent close to 500 billion on the average on NYC annually. Tinubu did so well and said, no, let's not wipe it off. Let us give them training. And that is a good thing, because when you invest in education, you're going to get it back anyway. So you don't expect investment in education to come back with cash back. Sometimes it comes back in the human capital development you have developed. It's good. It's never a waste. But can't we do better? That was my question. And you will find out that in my book, I'm saying no. If you're going to spend 1 year for young people who have just graduated to go and serve, and you are not going to give them a training, why is it always a training? Why is it not a work experience? And they said it's a work experience. Then if it's a work experience, why is that work experience not done in such a way that it will bring us money? Hallelujah. Now listen to me carefully. They said they're going to train young people in the next set of NYC batch to give them some skills. They identified agriculture. They identified the IT. They even went into the creative. I don't want to talk about every single one of them today. If you have not found out, please go and find out what the NYSC is all about. It's a national scheme. I'm a national person. And the question is, the government is now trying. It's not trying to say, oh, no, this package is good. But you know what? Let us give the young people in this 1 year some beautiful training, some useful training, some technical knowledge. So when they live there, when they finish serving, they will either be able to get a beautiful job that can give them gainful employment with an experience and a CV, and, if possible, set up a business on their own. I said, wow. You know, when I read it and I said, Tinubu, I like you to some extent. There are two things you've done. And I'm going to use some instances to talk to you guys today. And listen, today is like a lecture, because I am going to introduce you to a new book I wrote. I've talked about it a lot. But I really want people to be open with me and be more sincere with me. And maybe try and don't fight me until I say it. All right? And I'm going to do this with all sincerity. I'm trying to get you some images. That's why you see me pausing. Now, I like that. Tinubu, I feel sorry for Tinubu, because the person Tinubu is contesting, Tinubu tried to. If you have an opponent called Peter Obi, I expect Tinubu to call Peter and say, boy, you are a federal character. You are a pride to the nation. I fought with you, but there's no person like you. Because there is nobody like Peter Obi in Nigeria. Mona, show me them. Show me two Peter Obi. It's not there. The man is not in Nigeria. Peter Obi is not in Nigeria. The typical Nigerian man I know that could behave like Peter Obi, that decrease I cannot. Tinubu, you know you cannot be Peter Obi. So when people like us, we don't want you, because I want Peter Obi, because Peter Obi is the best. Especially in this political climate, he's the best. And the way I look at the guy, he can be ruthless too. When he says something, he will do it. Well, I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to go about these two candidates. Everybody that knows me, no, I will never in 1 million years vote for Tinubu. Not because Tinubu is not good, because he has an opponent I love. And that man is the best thing that Nigeria can ever have. I was saying to myself, if you want me to remember something in my lifetime, I'm getting old now, I'm almost 60. Give me Peter Obi as a president. That's my prayer. It doesn't mean it must work, but that is because I sincerely want my children to grow up in a new Nigeria. And I can't see Tinubu giving us that new Nigeria. But Tinubu has done some beautiful reform. That's what I'm saying. And the NYC is one of them. Another thing Tinubu did well, and I want to point this out, is the student loan. I don't know, children, whether you are able to access loan. I'm in the education cycle today. And I want everybody to mind what I'm going to say. You see, Tinubu did that right again. He said, young people, okay, I know things are hard, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you some money. Take this loan, go and study. When you graduate, you come back and pay back. It's a loan. Hey, yeah. For those of you, I live in the UK. I don't stay here. So I can give you some experiences. And, you know, even my political guru of all time, you people might not know him. This man is my hero. You know what? I follow his political legacy from A to Z. Tony Blair. There's something Tony Blair did in the UK. And when I see somebody doing it, I jump at the person and I clap for the person. And I want to give you a little history of the United Kingdom and relate it to Nigeria and why you see Tinubu do what he did. There was a time, let me mind the word. Mind the word sustainable. That's what I'm going to talk about. The education system in the United Kingdom was no more sustainable. It was free. The government could no more afford it. That is where leadership was needed. Should it be a goody-goody ideology? With the goody-goody ideology, it's no more working. There was no way the United Kingdom government was even going to pay all that school fees and survive. It was draining the purse of the government. You know what Tony Blair did? Man. Tony Blair said, okay, we're going to do the right thing. What did the man do? He introduced the student loan that is still in the UK today. And he said to people, young people, you're going to go to university. Yes, the chance is still there. But the school is not going to charge you a reasonable amount of money. That's why even when I studied in the UK, I paid 9,500, 9,300 as a home student. So if you are foreign, you're paying about 15,000 per annum for 1 year school fees. And this is the beauty of it. The government now gave me a loan that with this money, you can pay your school fees. But you are only, you know, when you graduate and you are earning a particular amount of money, if your money is up to 30,000 pounds per annum, then you pay back. And you pay back small. You're not paying back once. That way, I'm still able to go to school. I am not under pressure. I still have maintenance money. Not only the school fees, I'm not giving maintenance money, making me completely independent from my family, from my parents. And then I can live with that money and go to school. When I start working, is it not even reasonable for me to give back to the society? I think that is fair. And Tony Blair was almost going to be, in fact, it was not Iraq that was going to remove Tony Blair from office. It was a student loan. It's the student fees that almost got Tony Blair impeached. He escaped through that vote with about 5. Now, this is the word Tony Blair. This is why I respect Tony Blair. Tony Blair knew the policy was not popular. He knew that in fact, that the society was not going to take it. But he knew that there is no way the education will be sustainable if we continue with the goody-goody we were operating. He stood by it, even when it was bad. He's not a goody-goody man. But at the beginning, he was a goody-goody man. See, at a point in time in Tony Blair's career as a prime minister, he was no more interested in people liking him. He was not interested in the legacy. He was not interested in doing what he thinks is right. Now, let's bring this quickly to President Tinubu. Tinubu came up with something. Tinubu saw The only thing they brought to Tinubu was, okay, we have a goody system here. Go on, introduce NYSC. The NYSC is now outdated because it's costing us too much. As at the time Gowon started it, there were few people graduating. Now, how many people are graduating yearly? So the government is spending that wholesome amount of money every year on what electoral call nothing. At the end of the day, the young people will go and teach in primary schools. Have you kind of seen the kind of private schools where they send coppers to? That was not Gowon's plan. But the government could not provide the job. And you see why I'm confused here. The government could not provide the job. And the private sector does not have the job to give to coppers. So when coppers, have you seen coppers now? They're going to come out, they're going to graduate soon. Where are they going to serve? There's no place. No place for them to serve. And now, instead of, this is why I like a little bit of Tinubu. We're going to give some credit today. Tinubu government said, no, we're not going to wipe this completely because it is actually serving some purpose. The child just finished school. Let's give him some rest, some place to prepare himself for the world. And the NYC is a place that does that and brings in that national unity, which will maintain it. But we're going to do it better. He said that the young people that are now in NYC should now be trained in some skills. One of them is agriculture. I want you both to listen to me, my people. One of them is agriculture. Is that not good? They train you on IT. They train you on different things so that by the time you graduate, you finish your NYSC, you now have a different skill or an additional skill to the skill you already have. And I now learned that the education system, we're going to come to that, what they are trying to do in the primary school. I don't think it's realistic, but we'll come to that. But don't you think the president of Nigeria or the Tinubu administration deserves some credit? Not to completely wipe it and maintain it, knowing that it is costing us this amount of money. Look at how much it's costing the nation. Tony Blair won't do this. In the beginning, he might, but in the end, Tony Blair refused to do things like this. Because at that time, Tony Blair no more believed in goody ideology. We have a new prime minister. He's going to be a goody man. For now. But after some time, he's going to tell you, no, the nation have to move forward. Maybe sometimes we, the people, I'm not talking, even the United Kingdom, they ask for goody ideology. So I understand when Nigeria begin to demand goody ideology. That's what you want. Let me share the image with you again. This is it. This is our reality. We cannot afford to deal with anything that is bitter. We want sugar. But let me tell you a little thing about sugar and bitter leaf. When you eat sugar, my age now, they know they tell you don't touch sugar. If I take sugar now, I'll be in the toilet. Peace, I'll can't peace. If you're already having diabetes, you're going to die soon with sugar. But it tastes better, right? But it's killing you. Hello? Sugar is have the best taste. If I have my way now, when I used to drink things, those days that they pack the sugar put, but it was killing me. If I see fizzy drink today, I run. You know why? Because now I know that thing will kill me. But it tastes better. So as sweet as sugar is the worst enemy you want to have. In fact, I read a very interesting article about sugar. And they said it's the white man's love for sugarcane that caused slavery. It is what caused it. Because they needed people to work in their farm, in their sugarcane farm. They went and do evil in Africa to carry people to go work in the sugarcane farm. The sugar has been a problem in life. Has been a problem to all generations. And now, in our time, the question is, if Tinubu has said, let us wipe NYSC, would you have accepted it? He did one and he almost killed him. That's why the man was afraid. He removed the subsidies. And in fact, people have not forgiven him to today. Why? How dare he do it? No, subsidy needed to go. Subsidy needed to go. Now, but again, Tinubu is still a politician. He's not a leader. I want to define the difference between a leader and a politician. At a point in time, Tony Blair was a politician, and in his career, he grew and he said, no, today I've made up my mind. I don't care right now. I'm going to be your leader. You know who a parent is? A parent, when you see a mother or a father, we don't give our children food that is not good. If you see where my child, the mother of my kids here, my wife here, in fact, if the boy doesn't eat, the beating alone, the boy will be looking on to me to come and help him. I say, boy, try and eat now. If you see the mother, big slap, well, you must eat. Because the boy was not eating our food anymore. The thing they give him in school is what the boy was eating. If you see the beating, that's a parent. Did she hate the son? No. He's trying to give the son what she think is right. And it's called training. Now, Tinubu, in his wisdom, felt Nigerian money is going, we can no more sustain sustainability. That we can no more sustain the subsidy regime. It's got to go. He did it. We almost killed him. Now, I hate Tinubu because of it. Not because he removed subsidy. My anger with Tinubu is what he did with the money. He's not sharing the money with governors who are now packing sand on the road. It's better to leave the money with us then. If they had used the money to build a refinery, Tinubu, you would have been my president today. No, but you don't listen. You're a very stubborn man too. The stubborn old man. Anyway, we are here today. Today is not a funny day. And only few people can understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to understand where Tinubu is coming from and where he has done well. But let's keep, I want to keep this topic within the NYSC so that I can use it to explain this. It's not other thing. I pick another topic, but I feel the NYSC is something new, something innovative, and we can talk about it. So Tinubu decided that no, I won't remove NYSC completely, even when it's costing the nation 540 billion. We can't justify it. It's not as if the children are doing good job, they are getting one great experience. Why are we doing it? But he did not do it because he's a politician. If he were to be a leader, he would have just wiped it off like he did with the subsidy. But he said, no, let's put it to good use. Now that we are here, don't forget, our problem is it's not sustainable. Now, this is what Tinubu decided to do. Okay, let us put it to good use. Let us use this as an opportunity to train young people. When you finish your NYC, you now have some skills which will be useful for you and the society. I buy that. But for money like that, Chris, listen to me carefully. Tinubu is still a politician. The ideal thing to do, which is what maybe they lack the innovation, and it's in my new book. I am saying, you know why young people don't have to go to a place and work? A private school and work, or some stupid mushroom places to work, because the private sector cannot create the jobs. Now let's get this clear. So we have young people coming out of there. They are ready. We have people who are ready to work. Government is paying them, but the government could not give them the job. So they send them into the street to go and look for a job. And anybody they come, they just give the children to go and work. Whether they're going to gain anything, it's not useful. So Tinubu said, okay, let us use the opportunity. It's not no more 3 weeks, it's now 6 weeks in the camp. So they teach them some training, more training, and then they can direct them into these available skills that will make them more useful. Now, I am almost buying that. But it has not really solved the main problem. The main problem, it is costing us much money. And if it's costing us so much money, now you have young people who can work. The last time I checked, we have so many beautiful arable land. The last time I checked, I learned that we have so much to do with mining. The last time I checked, we could be building houses for sale. The last time I checked, we could run our own IT company. Now, the government of Nigeria is waiting for the private sector to create the job. Otherwise, the government would have been happy if these children get a good job. Now, supposing, let's put it this way. Now, I want young people to learn to have agricultural skills so that when they finish NYSC, they can go and have that one as an additional skill. Don't you think it's so simple for the government to say, okay, now I want to set up farms. In this farm, when you come and serve an NYC, you choose, do you want to become a farmer or you want to be in the building sector, or you want to be in the engineering sector, you want to be in the IT sector, or in the medical sector. Because in the medical sector, you can actually work as a paramedic. So many jobs in the medical discipline, and even as pharmaceutical, they might train you in something that you become immediately useful. And the government can now say, okay, our primary health care, where is it? Why don't we even have primary health care? You know what? Only one doctor and NYSC people can do the job. No, let's train them. So that you don't need to even send them away in the first 1 week. Let them stay in the camp for 2 months. Train them on how to administer drugs. So when they go, they want to open the primary health care. Those who are interested in farming, train them on the rudiment of farming, so you can attach them to the government farm, not to go on the street. Now, Nigerians, can you tell me why government don't have a farm? Now, I don't understand this. Wait, I have the land. Tinubu, you have the land. Number 2, you have the young people to work now because they don't have a job. You are paying them, they don't have job to do. And you want them to learn the skill. So if you own a farm, the children will actually learn better working in your own farm, sir. Now you're looking for farm to send them to. Oh, there's no farm. Meanwhile, the university is a place that could be a farm. I'm coming back to that, how we even got there in the first place. Can't you see that Tinubu just want to please himself and please us so that we don't kill him for not wiping? Because if you wipe it again, I'm not sure they will not forgive Tinubu. Tinubu know in this election year he can't afford to wipe NYSC, so he kept it. And keeping it, he did something innovative. He's now trying to lend them skill. The only thing I don't understand, Nigerians, is how can the government now have this set of young people who can be useful and which they have identified, and they are now training them in those areas. Listen, they identified about 7 areas, which they're now going to focus NYC children to go and learn an additional skill. I don't know why they didn't even include fashion. Though they include the creative, maybe that's where the creative is where fashion will come in. Because fashion is doing well. So will it be out of place if the government of Nigeria, say some few states like Abia State now, they might actually be able to set up an industrial plant where they make clothes for export? I'm not sure if you make clothes in Nigeria, it's not going to be sold. Explain to me why the government will now pay young people as coppers, actually look for where to train them, and could not turn this thing into money making for the government. Because the last time I checked, if we now say coppers and some trained staff or some professionals now go and work where they're making industrial clothes, like what I'm hearing now, we'll be supplying big supermarkets in Europe and around the world. And even in our own supermarket. Look at what they are wearing now. We have private primary schools. These clothes can be made. Is there any reason why the government cannot open business? That is the part I don't understand. See, that brings me to the topic of yesterday. You know, and I was angry here, and I was talking. Besides, I saw the lineup of Oboriwori's Delta State Economic Summit. I'm getting impressed. When I saw the faces, I'm impressed. So let me watch and see what's going to happen. So let me withdraw some of my speech. But I do know that it can never be what I'm thinking. But anyway, what I'm saying now is there any reason, Nigerians, is there any single good reason why our government cannot own a farm? Because if we had owned a farm, then when you are saying that, okay, young people, youth coppers should be trained in farming, you send them to your farm. And I'm not saying that the government will own the farm 100%. A government-owned farm doesn't mean the government will own it all. Maybe government owns 60% and 40% is owned by other private people, so that the government is not going to be everywhere. But actually, we have 3 arms of government. We have the federal government, we have the state, and we have the local government. I'm sure we are not having shortage of human beings to farm. Why would this is I don't understand. Now, I am paying this amount of money to coppers. It's not sustainable. Now, ask Tinubu now. Tinubu, where are you going to raise money to pay the next year coppers? That's how I think. Now, this year, I'm able to take the money from oil. If oil doesn't, if God forgive. I don't. If God should even take the oil. That there's no oil next year. Where will you be able to fund coppers? A wise person will know that if this job, which coppers or whatever we're using the coppers for, is useful to society, let us find a way to retain it, to make it sustainable. Tony Blair did that. That's what you copied here, sir. You call it the student loan. You came and copy it in the UK. It's a good thing. My father said you imitate good things. And I support you, sir, with that student loan. But let it be real. Let the student get the money. It is important. And for me, in the first place, our education system, if you watch the book I wrote, our education system is rubbish right now. And that brings me to a very important flyer which I want to share with you people today. And this is very important. And I want you see, what we inherited from the British, we can no more blame them, but this is what we inherited. We didn't inherit a trade. They train us to take orders. They didn't train us to think for ourselves. They train us to protect properties. That's why if you see the government law today on land, it's still the same old law that we are using. That is what they were. I'm not going to defend the British today. Now they train us to suppress this. You see, when you see the kind of army, they whip you. Only in Nigeria, only in Africa that you see a soldier man on the street. In the UK, I've not seen a soldier man on the street to the extent of actually beating you up. I've not seen any soldier man. Have you? I beg, those of you that see soldier men, it's when you see them on the train, they're going to their depot. A soldier man is only going to come out if there's a disaster. They are sending them down to go and fix the place. I've never seen a soldier man on the street, but Nigeria, soldier men are actually the one on the street. Soldier men are not trained, no, because a soldier man can just shoot you. He's not trained to be compassionate. He's not a civil man. He's a military man. There's a difference between civil and military. There's a training. He can kill you. He doesn't understand that. A policeman is trained to deal with civilians, to deal with people. He has that mentality. So the men don't. But only Nigeria will do that. That is what the British left us with. And whatever they did, it was out of to extract minerals and take home. And in fact, the first set of our leaders were good. The like of Awolowo, Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, they wanted to actually reverse this extraction thing so that we can change our education system to something more productive. But because the military came again and again, those guys, they were cut short. And the people the British left, they were already taught in a particular way, like I'm talking to you now. Your brain works in a particular way. You cannot even understand where that decrease is coming from because it's alien to you. What I'm talking about is alien. You cannot understand that the government of Nigeria can farm and make money. And you see, guys, I don't get it. Wait. The government have the money to farm. They have the land. Now, the last time I checked, they have coppers. I'm not talking of the people who are unemployed though. And he's sitting down and said, I'm waiting I'm creating an environment so that Russia will come and farm in Nigeria. Also, Chinese will come and farm in Nigeria. If the Chinese even come and farm in Nigeria, will they be coming to farm in your interest or in their own interest? Are you people thinking? Now, this is exactly what you see here. If Tinubu can be so clever to say no, now let us train our young people. Let us use the opportunity of the 1-year youth service to prepare them for life by giving them skills that will be useful tomorrow. Is it really rocket science to now know that, if we can train them in this, then we can do something better? Why don't I open a farm? And in the farm, the children can then work there. And what that farm will do, that farm will bring in money that will actually pay the children. So in that way, the NYC becomes sustainable. Where is the rocket science in it, sir? Okay, who told you? You know, the last time I always said to them, they said that's not what the Bible says. I said, I don't understand this one. Is it the Bible or the Quran that told you that you cannot own a farm? Oh. God. And let me ask again. Is it the Bible or the Quran that taught you Nigerians that the government of your country can never own businesses? Who said so? You see, the last time I checked, if you look at the model of the Chinese, it was the state that actually started some of the big businesses. Then they privatized. The state could, Delta State now could own a farm and allow other people to buy shares. But they own it. And they can actually employ some people and take it as a shares and say, okay, you are expert in this. You run the farm for me. If you make mistake, you are fired. They know they are not their farm. It is, you see, the eyes are many. The private people that buy shares is there. The government eye is there. And you that is managing it, you know, if you don't, because I'm not going to pay you, it is on the proceeds of the farm that you're going to get paid. Any mistake, you're going to prison. Now, who said that kind of going to work? If we have that kind of system, do we need for anywhere to train these young people? Based on this NYC we have just well articulated, do we need anywhere to go? I don't know whether I'm talking to myself. Nigerians, I'm confused. And I really, I don't know, those of you that watch me today, it's a different program. I'm not talking, I'm not shouting today. I want us to think together. Where on earth is it an abomination for youth corpers that you said should now be trained in agriculture, should be trained in IT? I don't understand why somebody will train people in IT and don't think of how to set up an IT and be useful to society. Because IT services is what we all need. So if you're training people on IT, the last time, wait, if a mechanic take on an apprentice, in our informal education, sir, a mechanic who on the workshop they will send your child to go and learn from him. He doesn't take the boy anywhere. He trained that child in his own work. And before you know, the boy will begin to attend to cars. They are treating real life cars. He's learning. Your son will be learning from real life situation as he's fixing cars. It's not anywhere else. Why can't we think that model? Even if we cannot use it in our university, which is what I'm proposing. Can't we see use that in NYSC training? And if that one does not give your government opportunity to now say, oh, what that the Chris is saying is right. Let us now have a construction company that constructs housing, because Nigeria have shortages of housing. Now we have corpers who are, some of them may even be trained, and some will be interested in doing some work in housing. Don't forget, housing might not be just even those that do the bricklaying work. There's some technical, there's some intellectual work that will take place there. Then you begin to train people in this way, so that when they finish, maybe they can go and do engineering drawing for housing and do one or two things for people, so they begin to become useful. How come that the government of Nigeria, now having been able to say, okay, NYSC should not go, now we need to train our kids in the period of the 1 year to learn something? Why is it rocket science for the government of Nigeria to now say, okay, let me open a company, so that as they are doing this, the company will be the state, federal, and the local government? Let me use one, Delta Farm or Nigerian Farm. Nigerian Farm could farm with Delta State. You know, the federal government will have a share in it. The state government will have a share in it. The local government, where it is established, will have a share in it. Then private people will have a share. And then you hire experts to come and manage it, because you want us to get the best. And that is where you are not feeding young people, the coppers we are talking about. Would that be so bad? Now, you know what's going to happen? Now, the government is now going to be frustrated, looking for where to train these young people on this new scheme. And whenever you're trying to send them to, you're not even sure what kind of training they're going to get. I ask a question, my people. Is this our fault? It's like I have Joy with me. I'll be more than happy to have Joy, because you are young people. Hello, Joy. Come, because this one serious matter. Come. Joy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Very good morning, Joy. So I'm talking in your territory. I've been talking, Joy, and I've been trying to analyze this, what the federal government is saying. Let me just recap it so you are with me. The federal government is saying that, okay, I know you've done your youth service, but now the government said it's costing them too much. Look at how much, about 500 and something billion. Tinubu said it's on a good day, the government should wipe it. No, government said we shouldn't wipe it. But meanwhile, we should use the opportunity to train you young people, so that when you are doing your youth service, if you are doing it in a farm, you will learn the skill of agriculture. In fact, they intentionally want to train young people in some skills. And I think it's a genius idea. It's a very good one. Because meaning when you finish your youth service, you're not going back with your degree alone. In your 1 year, because any employer will be asking you, what did you study in the university? You will say, I studied economics. Okay, on your youth service, what did you specialize in? In housing. So you now have two advantages. You study economics and you practice housing. So an employer cannot make those two decisions in employing you. Now, the problem I have is the government cannot even continue to afford this money. The government is crying that there's no money. When will it be so bad? If the government now set up a company, a housing company, and then now begin to build houses and sell, so that the services of these coppers bring money back to the state. So the state will now make money, and that system begin to run on its own without anybody. We don't need to go into the wallet anymore to say next year budget. You see this mentality we have, eh? There's a pot of money coming from oil where we just spending like fools. I can tell you, Obodo don't know where the money he's spending is coming from. All he knows is coming from oil, is coming from Abuja. It's not his business. How much is there? Oh, how much do we have? The federal government will share it, and they will share its own. It's going to appear in their account. And it doesn't bother him that, oh, I need to make more money in my own state. That's what I've been crying. Do you know, Joy, how much each of the states in Nigeria can make? Every state in Nigeria can make more than what the oil we are making at the federal level. Every single state. There's no state that is not blessed in Nigeria. But you know what they do? They're sitting on their fat ass. All the governors, you see them with their fat asses. They sit in their fat ass. And they all share our money. And the painful thing is the money they are sharing is so small compared to what we can achieve. Now, my anger today is the federal government now said, okay, let's not wipe NYSC. NYSC is good. And I'm happy. Now, we need to train them. Where are you going to train them? Where did you serve? Let me start from there, Joy. Where did you serve?
I served in secondary in Osun State.
In secondary school, right?
Yes.
So, was it, okay, so you were teaching?
Yes, I was an English teacher.
You were a teacher, so, okay. And what did you study? You studied theater art from what I found out. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay.
Of course, that is. I studied theater.
See? So somebody studied theater art because there's nowhere to give you theater art job. That's why they're not sending you to go and teach. I'm sure sometimes it's even in private school. Thank God you must have taught in the government school.
It's not just, it's a private school. It's a private school. It's not just, let's say my theater practice is more of like a field thing. There were people who studied professional courses, like, health. We're talking people that studied, let's say, economics, for example, banking and finance, all of these that were supposed to be sent to the appropriate institutions for service. But they were all sent, most of them were sent to schools to teach. Now, it's only when you have money. That's one thing in fact, when you said NYC, I was really excited about the topic, It's when you have money to influence your posting. That's when you can go to the place you
have to spend money to influence.
So even during the time of service, a lot of companies, yes, of course, a lot of coppers were. It looked as if they were. Let me use the word not intelligent, because they were working or they were serving in a place that was not actually. They were not supposed to be there, because as if they were doing the opposite of what they learned in school. So it was really hard for them, because a lot of them, they don't know how to teach people. You understand? They don't know how to pass knowledge to others. They would rather do the job. Yeah.
Joy, where I think where I'm not intelligent enough is maybe somebody will need to explain this to me. How can the government now have trained people from the university? They already trained in a field. Now, you couldn't give them a job. Now you are looking for private sector to give them stupid job. What is it? Will it be so hard for the government to now say, okay, now I have so many number of coppers coming this year, they're going to be theater artists. Let me even open a theater and begin to entertain people. Would that not be a money making for the government?
Yes.
Would the government would they make
revenue
money?
generate that they will generate
Money. So the complaint that NYC is costing us also amount of money would have been out of the day, because NYC will not be making us money because the students or the young people will make money for the country. Except that our government has been told that all you need to do is prepare enabling environment. I mean, when I use the word, now language I speak, none of this. Only in Nigeria you hear the word enabling environment. Enabling environment. Akbar. What is enabling environment? What are you enabling? You see, why this is so interesting, you know what I say? I started the show, Joy, by saying there's something called goody goody. I'm happy you know what is goody goody. I want the one that said, Joy, what is goody goody?
it's some kind of sweet that I was born that time, so I was privileged to partake.
Your parents must have corrupted you. No wonder. You see now. You see, enjoy. Anyway, you see, goody goody is sweet, But at my age now, Joy, you think I can eat you goody goody? Do you think goody goody is good for me?
It's not good.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
But now, come on, Joy, let's take a look at this soup. Look at this correct banga. Look at this correct bitter leaf soup. Let's remove this guy. Let's take a look at this bitter leaf soup. Correct one. And sugar. Which one is good for me?
This soup, this soup is good.
But the soup is bitter. The soup is bitter. But the other one is sugar. The only reason I'm going to pick the soup is because I know the sugar will kill me quick. So sometimes government gives you something sugary. I beg, ask whether the sugar is good for you. No, listen, Tinubu is scared. I give him credit on this one. Because he did one. He removed oil subsidy, which is necessary. Nigeria wanted to kill him. If he had wiped out NYC, he would be dead. So the man have to keep the NYC to save his neck. You see, because Nigerians are looking for sugar. We are not looking for bitter leaf soup, which is good for our health. So sometimes what is sweet is not what you need. That's why I use the word. When you go for treatment, doctor will not give you what you think you need. They give you what is lacking in your system.
Yes.
So that's why they don't just give you sugar when you go to hospital. They give you something that will help you to come out of where you are. So Nigerian government, where we are today is, we are like people that have gonorrhea and we are applying Vaseline. How can Vaseline cure gonorrhea? How? Let me put it this way. The question is, now, let's stick with the topic of today. Let's bring the young people back. These people graduated from the school, right? They suffered, they've graduated. And now, all of a sudden, we find out that, the skill they have is not useful for society. Because that's why you are retraining them. Otherwise, if the university has trained them well, then you don't need to retrain them. My question is, if the government of Nigeria know that there is need for retraining, don't you think you go and set the education system so that they can start to produce you the kind of people? Because why will I spend 4 years or 5 years going through one system before I come and go to one NYC that trained me again? Where do I need that shit in my life? And how much is it costing the country? How much is Nigeria spending in school that they don't use? That is where the antibiotics is. The antibiotics of our system for this cure to be is for us to first start curing it from the university level. Let university be the first production house that makes money. Hallelujah. That's what I wrote in my book. That the university will own a farm. You go to university to go and study. You want to study farming or agriculture, that's where you're going to farm. and you're going to learn the work, so you already know how to farm. And as you are farming in the university, you are making money for the university, you are making money for the government, and you will be paid. In my education model, students must be paid. They must. So you don't go there to work for free. You're working to be paid. So that by the time I finish there, I've only learned how to make money from my skill. Why will I spend 5 years in the university to come out and become an apprentice? Wait, you go to university for 5 years only to become an apprentice, Joy. Where is that? Where is the sense in it?
Waste of time, waste of energy.
Waste of Nigerian money. Waste of everybody's time. If after 5 years in the university, I'm not going to go to another training, does the government think? But can Tinubu do that? If Tinubu do that, won't we kill him? If Tinubu say, okay, you know what? Not everybody should go to university. Because I know Nigerians, if my pikin not go study law, not my pikin, no, there are always some few courses you will need to study. Law, medicine, engineering, otherwise accountant, otherwise you are nobody. If we are just going for the big name, not what we need. Joy, let me ask you one thing. How many mechanics, those ones that study mechanic on the roadside, don't have a job? How many do you know?
The mechanics on the road, most of them didn't go to school to study it. They were apprentices. The ones that actually went to school, they are very few. Like I can count they that are actually doing what they studied. Most of them are teaching.
But any mechanic that learns mechanic in the workshop, once he finish, he start earning money there. Once he finish, he already have a job. He's not looking for a job. Have you seen a mechanic looking for a job? How many engineers are looking for a job in Nigeria? How many engineers are looking for a job in Nigeria? So is that not to tell you that our education system has failed? Oyibo I give us. You know what I copied that today? I said it again. It's loud. That they didn't give us the kind of education we needed. But they are no more there. I should blame the white man. I should blame the British for not giving you the right education. What is wrong with Tinubu from not giving you the right education today? Oh, one of my guys, Benny Bakpa, he said the best time to start anything is now. The best time to start anything in Nigeria is now. You know why this is so bad? I know many people will not care to see what I'm going to talk about now today. You know, I'm going to say this, and I wanted to share this flyer with Nigerians today. That every year that Nigeria fails to develop, you know what happened? We lost lives. We lost opportunities. We lost money. We lost that competitiveness that will bring us in the global stage. Every year that Nigeria fails to develop. It's not a joke, Mr. Governor. Mr. Local Government Chairman, we are not joking here. You are playing with people's destiny. This world is so big that every of your action that have caused Nigeria not to grow, not to develop, is costing us lives. Because of your stupidity, maybe a young man that would have been doing something is not committing crime. He's going to get killed. Or he's on the way to Europe. He's going to die in the sea. Your action and your inaction is costing lives. Opportunities are gone. The money we're supposed to make, which is the most sad part of it, is not there. You know, I use this man today as an example, and I hope Nigerians know him. Very many. This is Tony Blair. I learned politics. I learned everything I know about governance in his time. And most of the thing Tinubu did today is copied from here. As at the time this man introduced school fees in the UK, they almost killed him. But you know what he said? He stood by his words. He said, there cannot be free education without nobody paying for it. Somebody have to pay. Now, let me ask the government of Nigeria, who is paying this 540 billion? Who is paying? The truth is the lives of people in the Niger Delta that is paying. Not Nigerians as a whole. Let me talk.
I want to ask you a question, and it is the
Yes.
money, is it they said they would it quote unquote that they want to use it to train people like the coppers, right? Is it
No,
theoretically or
no,
practically?
no. Practically, they are
Will
saying
they
that
do it?
no. What they're saying now is that the NYSC scheme in general, the money we used to pay coppers
Yeah.
for the 1 year, that it costs the government of Nigeria about 540 billion naira every year. Now, what the government is now saying that if we are spending that amount of money just to waste their time, spend 1 year with them and watch them masturbate themselves, we might as well use the time to train them to learn a skill that will be useful to them tomorrow. So they now introduce different scheme. One is agriculture. Another one is even the creative industry. They have they have a lot of some engineering work that you can learn, so that when you finish that 1 year, you have that skill to either be self-employed. But I don't know what you're going to learn in 1 year that can really make you self-employed.
Okay,
But
so
actually,
rather posting them to schools, they will be sending them to workshops for a year.
in
Is
fact,
that
but
the
yes,
idea? Yeah.
they are not supposed to be sent to schools anyway. You understand? They are supposed to be sent to where they will work and learn these
Of
skills.
course, yes.
Unfortunately, now the problem in the implementation is the government don't even have anywhere that they're going to learn these skills. These skills they said they're going to learn them
Exactly.
here.
That's
Where
what I wanted to ask.
exactly?
Where are
You
you
said
sending them to? Are you going to bring
exactly.
workshops like new ones? Like, where exactly are you sending
This
it
is
to?
as see where I'm talking now. Then I ask, this is did we bring it to my question? If the government is thinking straight, is it not an opportunity for the government to now say, okay, now let us set up a farm? Because we now have people to work in the farm.
Mm-hmm.
We have now let us set up
Yes, they are learning and they are generating income for the farm.
for the
Yeah.
farm. And if you say IT is one thing you're gonna set up. You see, let me tell you one story, Joy. Let me tell you this. This my company here is Talk Talk. That's my telephone provider. If I call Talk Talk, you know the people that pick customer service, another person from South Africa or from India, because it is very expensive to pay somebody to also answer phone for you in the UK. So the UK people, companies are contracting that kind of job to smaller to countries that can charge them less. Now, if Nigerian government now say, okay, we have your you coppers, I'm sure it will not cost Nigerian government so much money. Joy, listen to me. To open that kind of IT center, all the children is do is to
Yeah.
receive call and answer. Meanwhile, they are training how to use computer, how to find things and that. That's a skill. And then I can contract this kind of job from here, which is going to pay us. The amount they will pay will be minimum of £1,000. They cannot, the UK government, you cannot do that in the UK. You cannot pay somebody £1,000. But £1,000 in Nigeria is 2 million naira. So the government can
That's
actually
good
take this
money.
job. That's good money there.
Yeah.
But here it's nothing. You see the comparative advantage. We are living in the
Yeah.
same world. The same services that somebody in the UK will answer my call is the same services somebody in India and in South Africa is doing. Nigeria is not tapping on that. Oh, no, wait. That one is too far. Let's talk about an easier one. Fashion. You see this coat I'm wearing? It's probably made in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
It's sold in the UK. So are you saying that Nigeria cannot make this yet? And if now that we have coppers, we cannot just say, okay, let us go and buy some industrial machines. Every state should do their own. And then coppers will go there to learn. Then we hire some few people who are experts. And then we begin to make clothes and sell in Europe and the whole of Africa and even within Nigeria. The money that we need for youth coppers would have been raised. But your government, they what they do? They do enabling environment. Let's clap for them. We need to clap for Nigerian government. They are very good in enabling environment. You know, better for me. Because
The government of this country, they are not thinking long term. They're just
no,
thinking, let's say, for example, you have, I'm using this analogy. Let's say you have a running stomach. You're not
yeah,
thinking of what will stop that running stomach from reoccurring again. You're just thinking of, let me just be relieved for like 2 hours. I think that's what you made mention of when you said they were giving sugar.
Yes.
Something that was just, and you know one thing about sugar, when you put it in your mouth, after a period of time, the taste is gone. You no longer feel it again. Yeah, and it
That's
has
it.
gone inside the body to do damage.
To do
Exactly.
damages.
But when you eat something, yes, exactly. So I think the Nigerian government should think, like they should think, they are inside the box. They should leave the box and think outside, because this one they are saying they are spending 500. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm just saying it for the first time. 500 and how many billion? I didn't
Yes.
see how much are
Ah,
they paying us?
some people
33
go down
thousand,
thief now.
and they are
Some
still
go down
owing,
thief half of the money.
some person.
Half of the money is
They are
stolen.
still owing some person. Uh,
All right. You see,
honestly,
how
it
much
is
are they
well.
paying? You see, so that is the country
Now they
we
are
find.
paying 77,000. Some 7,000 that might not even come at the end of the month. Some it comes 2 weeks into the next month.
You see, young people, I'm saying to them today, it is better you eat bitter leaf now. Do
Yes.
not go. Do not clap for anybody that gives you sugar. Oh, anybody when they say na goody goody man, now the guys know how to they call us now. You not need 2 minutes man. Oh, 2 minutes man not give you belly. Oh, if you want born. Now let join others because see, it's see, you see the country where we find ourselves. This is what we are up against, and it's a serious issue. Where this one is so shocking, as I'm writing my new book and I was reviewing it, and all I did was okay. I only asked Google which of these things that cost Nigerian government money and without bringing in any return. A lot of came in. Then I saw the youth corpers, and that made me to look into their affairs, and these are my findings. And the thing I was so angry with myself, I said, "Oh God, what kind of leadership do we have?" And it is true that the government have been taught. You see the word, Joy. We have been taught that it is not the job of government to create jobs. And that is the
Okay.
most stupid lesson we've ever learned in our life. That the government only create enabling environment so businesses can be established. You know the Chinese, they were communists. They're the one that come to rule the world. Do they own their business, their companies? Yes. It was the Chinese government that will even initiate it. Go to Malaysia. Go to Singapore. Singapore, they don't even have anything. But they were able to use the human capital. What did they do? They made a conscious decision to train themselves and make sure their human being becomes money. If Nigerians follow what I wrote in my book, do you know that you will have opportunity to export workers? Not only oil. Because we in the
Yes.
diaspora, I'm writing a book on that. The Nigerians in the diaspora, if I tell you how much we are bringing into the country, it's about 20 billion every year. More, 25 to 60 billion. That's what we bring in, between 25 and 30 billion. Every year, it's what we send home. And if any bank is even innovative, they can come and do business with us because that money we are sending home, we don't see it. Let's take me as an example. I'm in the UK. I am an asset to Nigeria because right here, everything I do is Nigeria. I have a company in Nigeria. You see, because I'm a Nigerian. That is how you're going to train people and they will never go lost. They will come back with something. The diaspora is another market. If we have so much young people now and we are saying, okay, no job for them. Now let us train them with the vision that say, oh, this will be useful tomorrow in the health sector in the UK. Because people are ODL, they are getting ODL. Nobody to take care of them. So, and they don't die on time. And they don't like to give birth to children. So we have an advantage. We like to do the thing. Even Nigerian man will not get work. Now wife they suffer them. If you not get job, nobody go when in the night, wife give you food finish, you go take her and hit in your make come. And if they hit and not be picking go come. That's why we are procreating. It might be good. It might not be what we need, but it is something. We have a youthful population. Let us use it. What is surprising today is Nigeria is seeing our youthful population as a curse instead of a blessing. How can you have viable young men who can do something for you and you say you are in trouble? You are blessed. But if you don't know what to do with them, they become a problem. And I see, Joy, this miracle we are looking for, the miracle is here. It's not coming, it's here. See, when we say we're looking for one thing to happen, we're not looking for it, the thing is here. Let me give you one instance. And you know, the government have everything already set up. Look at it. We have the youth corpus now. No, yesterday I was talking and they told me, oh, do you know how many universities we have in Delta State? We have 12 universities. I said, okay. So if we have 12 universities, so the government, that is costing the government money. That's what they were trying to tell me. Oh, don't compare Delta State to Abia State. We have so many universities in Delta State. I say, So if you have so many universities, is that not a good thing? You see, the university is only a problem to you because the university is not making money. But let me ask this. There are other private universities that don't have the space of Uniben. They are making serious money. I'm not using Nigeria as an instance now. The best university in Nigeria is the one held by the winners. Private, by a church. Now the man I get another church. So I'm wondering, many universities is a big business. Even when that man is only collecting big money for school fees. He can do that because he doesn't have space. But Uniben has space to do business. Uniben is not like the way they thought. Now I'm not going to talk to the university tomorrow. They're going to hate me tomorrow. I'm going to talk about my book tomorrow. Do you know the same way I'm talking of the government being taught that they cannot make money? That's how they've taught Nigerian universities that it's not their problem to make money. It's not, oh no, Nigerian universities don't need to make money. I know. Who taught you that, sir? Oh, you're the only sort of making money is school fees. You are insane. I thought you people were so intelligent that the university can now limit themselves to school fees and government subvention. Whereas you are sitting down in a pool of money. Money is put as. Let me tell you. Uniben Farm. When I never saw Uniben, I was a student there. Do you know how much? If we just create ranches in Uniben, we have a Greek student there now. We know heard now that people coppers, they don't get where they go train themselves. So we have free workers. And then we have some few people. Maybe we hire only two Israelis to come and help us to work. We'll pay them to create Uniben Farm. After the first 2 years, I'm not sure we don't need it. We don't need them again. We'll be able to pay because it's capacity building. But you know what you are doing? You are waiting for a man from China to come and open a farm in your village. Of what use is it for you? You get problem. Whereas Uniben is there to do a better farm with the right skill. In fact, the data I asked them in Delta State and in every state in the country is, what is the use of Ministry of Agriculture? I mean, I'm stupid. I'm not in the system, so I may not understand what I'm doing. What is the use of Ministry of Agriculture if you don't have a farm? And meanwhile, if you people can just take a place and farm, you will be able to sell cassava that will pay all of you. You guys will be earning big money. In fact, those of you in the ministry, you are a cost to yourself. Because if you can just wake up, and I'm going to talk to some of the ministries today. Tomorrow it's going to be ministries. I'll be talking of government, and I'm going to talk of ministries tomorrow. Because this is the department the government can actually use to work. I've been talking all this while I will go to universities. Because with Uniben Farm, they can have ranches. In fact, there's nothing they cannot cultivate in Uniben. It's a village. Have you been to Uniben? It's a village. So there's nothing you want to do in Uniben that you don't have enough space to farm. There's no mechanical work you want to do in Uniben that you don't have place. Even if it is food, if it is poultry, there is nothing you are looking for that you don't have place to do. Why is Uniben not making money? Because we've been taught that university is not their job to make money. Maybe they train people. They're training brains. You know, we are very intelligent people. We in the university, we train them. As soon as we go on strike, and they wait for now. As soon me, I go take when I go court. Now me go say go take and go court this time. Because some of the things you guys are doing, it doesn't make sense for ordinary man like me. Now, let's forgive, say, we'll not even take Unibank. Tomorrow is going to be the topic, but I'm going to spend some few minutes on that. Because I don't know how many more minutes I have. I have to be out of here in the next few minutes. Okay, I have 15 minutes. Let's spend some of it. And I'm going to spend on the Ministry of Agriculture. I'm not going to spend agriculture. Let's go to creative. And I'm going to go to a ministry you think cannot make money. Because I'm an expert in that field. So I'm going to talk about the Ministry of the Creative Economy. Tomorrow, Minister, now your picture I'm going to do this show. It's your picture I'm going to use on this show tomorrow. You are a very young, beautiful woman. If Tinubu doesn't think well, if your predecessor have not been thinking well, can't you think well, madam? I'm going to put you on the stage, on the world stage tomorrow. They're going to see you, man. Because I'm coming. Daddy Chris is coming. Let's take a look at the Ministry of the Creative Economy. Short for a few minutes before we close. I won't spend much time because I'm going to touch. Tomorrow we're going to focus. Do you know that the Ministry of the Creative Economy have never made a penny for the Nigerian state? Do you know that? Now, let me ask you, do you know how much the Ministry of the Creative Economy can make for Nigeria? Oh! Yesterday, I was analyzing the potential of a Nigerian week in Nigeria. A weekly activities showcasing the best of Nigeria. I'm talking of our culture. Our kingdoms. Say Oba Bini, they come with the entourage. Then they dance, follow him. Oba is seated and the people are dancing Bini dance and they are serving Bini food. They are telling us some Bini stories. The Bini musicians are performing. The same thing with the robots, the same thing with the Ife, the same thing with the Hausa, the same thing with the Calabar. Hey, that place is not a carnival. You go there, you know, go on, go home. The world will descend in Nigeria. 1 week. We are not looking for sponsors, man. The reason I know this is possible, I saw it in Hungary. And it's going to happen next month in the UK here. They're going to have the Notting Hill Carnival. We don't need a carnival. We need a festival. Madam Minister, before you were born, because I was born before you, there's something we call Festac 77. Madam, have you taken your time to ask what is the potential of Festac 77? Are you still taught like Tinubu that you cannot make money with it? Because our forefathers were only doing as a showcase. You know what I tell young people that come to do art? When they come to me, I said, I was trained in art and business. I was not trained in art. I was trained in art and business. Anything you come to me to do in this field and I'm not making money, I'll tell you I can't do it. And he will ask me why. I said, because most filmmakers I know that were my friends, they are no more making films today. They don't go work. If I want you to be with me there tomorrow, I want to ask you the difficult question. Can we make money? In Nigeria, they are even doing better. In the UK, all my friends I started making films with, they are no more in the industry. Because it's not paying their bills. You got to come to me, oh, I just want to make film. It's my passion. Filmmaking is not a passion. It's a business. Hello? Okay. Now, who told you, madam? The Minister of Culture and Creative Economy. Who told you that that ministry is for fun? When you see billions, now you are costing the federal government of Nigeria a so amount of money. If you have gone to Tinubu and say, no, I am young, this is what we're going to do in the ministry. Madam, if you don't know, come here. I bet attend the Notting Hill Carnival. Not the type you do there. The Notting Hill Carnival is a shame to black people. Yet it's the most successful. Imagine the kind of carnival on 1 week festival we can do in Nigeria. Imagine how many people will descend, the kind of culture we exhibit. Have you not read about First Tax 77? That was even a failure. Imagine the new First Tax 77. Now reimagined, now re-improved. Not as a showcase, as a show business. Repeat that, madam. I am talking here. A remake of First Tax 77, not as a showcase, as a show business. Take a cue from Pepsi cigarette in Budapest. Where una day? That is an economy. You see why this is so sad? Madam, please read what I put out there. Let me make this full. Let me read this for you. Anytime, every year that Nigeria fail, which is you fail to develop, the day 1 year you fail to develop that ministry, many people are dying. Many opportunities are lost. Incomes are lost. We lost our position in the global stage. I cannot be more rude than I am now. Nobody likes me. You know why? I am not a regular broadcaster. You now know. I am not a regular broadcaster. If you think I am almost 60 years, by May 2027, I'll be 60 years old. You know what it means? Now where they go 9 years. I lie for no one, and I won't lie for you, because I can die tomorrow. At my age, 60 years is not a man that died early. And I'm still moving. I still get baby. I just want to marry now. So notice I don't go. I'm here. See, my people, I am not a regular broadcaster, and don't take me for nonsense. When I talk, ask me, I will prove it for you. You know, Madam Creative Economy, I came up and said, that may not be part of your department because we're going to talk about sports soon. But let me tell you one bad news. The English Premiership generates £6 billion every year. 6 billion from only football, not other sport, only Premiership. Yet Nigerians spend money to house the Ministry of Sport. We know they see penny year to year. My message to you, sir, Amma, is every year Nigeria fail to develop. Lives are lost. Income lost. Opportunity lost. Our position in the world lost. Do you know, can there be any place where they can play football better than Nigeria? No, I'm lost. Wait, let me ask again. Can there be a place where football can be played on television better than Nigeria? NTA. I told them last time, they told me they don't even have place. NTA is not an NTA anymore. Because I just made the proposal to them. They didn't even know what I was saying. What I proposed to NTA, they didn't understand it. I don't know, and because I'm not home, I couldn't sit down with the new MD, the new DG. Do you know how much NTA could make from Premiership? Nigerian Premiership. If the British didn't sell the package, put it on television, that's what people are watching in Nigeria now. Premiership. I don't understand though. So people watch this thing, what they're playing in England, in Nigeria, and I see fans of Arsenal, fans of this. Me, I'll be an Arsenal fan. I couldn't be any fan of any Nigerian club because it's not there. Are you saying we don't love football and yet we love the English football? We follow Barcelona, we all love Messi. Una they worry now. How much are we making from Nigerian Premiership? Zero. The television is dead. Let me tell you one thing that I said to them. Hey, listen, madam, I have problem with you. And we're going to sit down. I can't buy your naked for road. Because this is what happened. Should I talk? Yes, I should say more. Madam, the last time I checked, I spoke with a lot of Nollywood. I'm organizing the Nigerian Film Festival here now. If you want to call yourself a filmmaker in Nigeria, your movie will be in Netflix. Your movie will be in Amazon. Now, I saw them now. I saw the set of them, Omotola. They are now a member of the Oscar. So we want to be in Oscar. Hey! So for you to be important, you got to be in Oscar. For your film to be relevant. Madam, where is your Oscar? Oh, that one is too much. It takes time to develop Oscar. A country of how many? 400 million people that have the whole of Africa. You cannot telefy the most wonderful event. It's even South Africa doing it. Something is wrong with you, Nigerians. No verse. I'm talking of the creative economy. I need to shut up because they will beat me one day. Serious one. You know the one is most sad? Netflix. You hear me? Netflix. Let me say it again. Netflix. Wait. Now, YouTube and Netflix. Nigerian man will make money, we make film. We're going to give the film in YouTube. That's what I'm broadcasting from now. YouTube will pay you from the income they generate. Netflix will pay you from the sales they generate. Yet, the Nigerian government, IA, the Ministry of Creative Economy, that is not they pay you. Say, where is our Netflix? I was talking to NT. They thought what I was talking is too alien. They don't understand where I'm coming from. And I said, do these people have head? Who created Netflix must be a small boy. And you think you are a young man? Akpa, you. Let me stop here because they'll kill me. Listen, I am the most annoying person broadcaster on earth. Give me that name. But perhaps I'm the most useful broadcaster you ever meet. My name is Daddy Chris. And I've been on to you on the so-called state of the nation. This is what I do. Let me give you a recap of what I'll be talking about today because we're not going to end this show without going back to where we start from. Nigerians, I started by analyzing the two most important things we play with, and we take it for granted. And we don't know. Every day we make different choices. And because of the choices we're making, we could not differentiate between a politician and a leader. There's a big difference between a politician and a leader. Tinubu, when I finish, ask yourself, not be me, bros. Now you have to talk to again now. We can end with you. Are you a politician or you are a leader? A politician will give you bitter leaf because bitter leaf is good for your health. A leader will give you sugar because sugar, that's what we call goody ideology. It serves better. You know, the only reason they'll clap for you, oh, look at the bridge. You want to do things people will see. The Bible said, when you do things, don't let people see you. When you fast, don't fast so that people see you, so that the Father that sees you in secret will reward you in secret. But really, where have you made a decision that you know may not be popular, but it's good for the state? That is leadership. And when the course of talking today, I quickly made reference. Those of you that are talking, this is my hero. Tony Blair, not all the time, but he was a hero for me one time. When Tony Blair said, no, the education system in the United Kingdom is no more sustainable. There must be school fees. They almost removed him from office. Tony Blair was going to lose his seat as a prime minister. He won that vote with 3 or 4. He introduced the school fees. That is what has stabilized the British education system. The UK education you see today would have crumbled, would have long died had Tony Blair not taking that long stand. Now, Nigerian education is zero, is dead. Who is taking the bold step? Let me ask you that question. No one. Tinubu tried, but he's afraid to get to the end. Maybe Nigerians will cause him too. The last time I checked, the man made one law and nearly kill him. He make it do another one, I'm gonna go kill him. Tinubu will not be alive. If he has said no more youth service, or this must be this, for me, if you still say this useless man, now your president, sugar not there. Because sugar will kill you. Now they kill us too. We don't need sugar anymore, Nigerians. We need bitter leaf. I think a word is enough for the wise. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is SRTV. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain for the show this morning. Don't forget, now, for evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. Evil have no place in our society if we all get up and do the right thing. But it's difficult for everyone to get up to do the right thing. Maybe God did that thing when we're going to see them in heaven. We're building and we're going to die. God have to scatter us. Maybe we are so scattered to get to where we're going. But let's pray for Nigeria. But like I said yesterday, your leader is not necessarily wicked. It's an insult to call Nigerian leaders corrupt because they don't know the meaning of corruption. You are insulting people who are corrupt because these are not corrupt people. These are, what do I call? Make I use the right word. I'm not going to use them. You cannot insult my leaders. But at the end of the day, you're still my leader. If not, what you guys are doing, mediocrity reigns supreme in Nigerian leadership. And it is sad. Let us not be blaming leadership. Our problem is productivity. And you can see the problem of the productivity coming out to play in everything we go. The Tinubu government identified a fault. They were about to cure it, but they could not go to take the last step and say, how will this make money? Anything you are doing that is not sustainable, who is going to pay tomorrow? This money one they borrow, who is going to pay tomorrow? That's why I end the show. Let me shut up right now so that I don't offend more people. My name is Daddy Chris, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm the number one most annoying broadcaster on earth. God bless you. Bye for now.
Find your sanctuary in the heart of the city. Live the life you deserve in an exquisite apartment. SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Lagos, is a place where your comfort is rest assured. Welcome to SRTV Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. Why choose us? Prime location, nestled in the heart of Lagos, close to key attractions, business hubs, and vibrant nightlife. Modern interiors, fully furnished, stylish apartments designed to provide the ultimate comfort. Luxury redefined, vacation perfected. 24/7 security. Enjoy peace of mind with round-the-clock security and CCTV surveillance. Top-notch amenities, high-speed Wi-Fi, smart TV, air conditioning, fully equipped kitchen, and lots more. Perfect for business travelers, family vacations, romantic getaways, special events, and more. Book your stay today and